What's going on, guys? Welcome back. This is the second part of the top 10 most interesting mechanics with Duncan Knee Deep. If you haven't checked out his channel already, please make sure to go and do so. Duncan's a great guy. He's commentated VGC events before. He does a lot of really cool stuff on his channel. So yeah, please go make sure you check this out. If you didn't watch the first part of this video, it's on Duncan's channel. I'll link it in the description. And this is just a series where Duncan and I are just talking about some of the cool mechanics that we personally have experienced in Pokemon. So I hope you guys enjoy. Here's the second half of our top 10 most interesting mechanics.
Number 5. Normalize Trap. This is less of a mechanic and more of an overall strategy, but Duncan and I thought it merited a place on this list because of how amazing it is if you can pull it off. Essentially, the basic concept of the team is as follows. Delcatty's Normalize ability is a really unique one in of itself. Unlike Aerialate or Pixelate, which change normal moves to one of the stabs of the user in addition to giving a boost, Normalize turns all attacks used by the user to normal type, meaning your Skitty or Delcatty will never be hitting anything for super effective damage, ever. It was theorized that the only potential competitive use for this could be using Thunder Wave on ground-type Pokemon like Landorus and Garchomp, but another use was found. The way Normalize Trap works is it takes advantage of the moves Roleplay and Skill Swap to pass Normalize to an opponent while trapping them in with a Shadow Tag user. If you're able to get into a situation where both opponents have Normalize, and you can get Shadow Tag on a Ghost-type Pokemon with a Ghost-type partner, your opponents will never be able to hit you ever, by definition. This allows you to gradually KO your opponent's Mons, and when they send in a Pokemon to replace the one you just KO'd, you can pass the new Pokemon Normalize again and keep them locked down. Normalize Trap is a really devastating strategy that can break teams and crush souls.
For number 4, we're going to talk about the move Snatch. Snatch is a move which allows you to steal certain support moves. Recently, in VGC 16, it's been notable for stealing moves like Tailwind, and was used to good effect in the finals of the Dublin Regionals, making for a very exciting set. Something very interesting about the move Snatch is while it doesn't work on protection moves like Protect, Detect, King's Shield, and Spiky Shield, it will steal moves such as Wide Guard and Quick Guard, which is something some players might not know until it catches them by surprise.
At number 3, we have some of the weird mechanics that Skydrop creates. Skydrop is a move that was introduced in Generation 5, but didn't see much competitive use until Generation 6, owing to the fact that it was banned in VGC due to a glitch in the Generation 5 games. Skydrop is an incredibly unique move. Unlike other multi-turn moves where you disappear from the battlefield, Skydrop actually takes an opposing Pokemon with you out of the battlefield for a turn. While this might seem like a waste of time, there's actually something very interesting that can be done when you pair Skydrop with No Guard. No Guard is an ability that has been around since Generation 1, and it works by making all attacks interacting with the user always hit, whether used by the Pokemon or aimed at it. Because of No Guard's definition, a Pokemon can hit foes who aren't even technically on the battlefield at the moment. This might not seem too useful because of the fact that most moves that make a Pokemon disappear, Dig, Dive, Shadow Force for example, aren't too common in competitive Pokemon. However, when combined with Skydrop, it allows for a very potent combination. Imagine you had a Pidgeot and an Aerodactyl, and your opponent had a nice Salamence you wanted to get rid of. You could actually Skydrop the Salamence, Mega Evolve your Pidgeot, and if you made your speed stats correct, you could actually attack the Salamence twice with Pidgeot without Salamence being able to attack even once. This is only possible thanks to No Guard allowing the user to hit the opponent even while in the air. Another strange mechanic that goes along with Skydrop is the way it interacts with Redirection. Redirection is something in Pokemon that has been considered an extremely powerful tool for a long time. The popularity of Amoonguss and Seijin Park's Pachirisu serve to emphasize that. Skydrop, however, is one of the only moves in the game to completely ignore Redirection. If a Pokemon uses Follow Me, Skydrop can still pick up its partner, and if you use Skydrop on a Pokemon using Follow Me, your partner is now free to attack whatever they were trying to protect. Overall, these strange mechanics have earned Skydrop the number 3 slot on our list.
In at number 2, we have something which is a glitch resulting from 2 mechanics rather than a mechanic in and of itself. The ability Symbiosis was introduced in Generation 6. It allows a Pokemon to pass its item to its partner when the partner Pokemon's item is consumed or lost. Try saying that 10 times fast. This ability seems pretty simple, but when combined with the eject button, introduced in Black and White, it has strange results. As the eject button is consumed, the Symbiosis Pokemon will pass its item across. However, for some reason this results in that item being doubled on the Pokemon it's passed to. Life Orb will now boost attack twice and also hit twice for each time the user attacks. Choice items will stack, providing double bonuses, and most interesting of all, leftovers will now trigger 4 times each turn, providing a huge amount of healing to the Pokemon now holding them. This glitch has not been patched or banned from use in tournament play. Due to its convoluted nature and the lack of good Symbiosis Pokemon, however, it has not made a splash in the VGC meta.
Number 1. Parasong and Ion Deluge. Coming in at the number 1 slot, we have one of the coolest things I've ever seen in Pokemon. I actually discovered this mechanic completely accidentally when Shady Penguin and I were recording a YouTube video, and we were both absolutely just blown away. There's a move called Ion Deluge, which is actually really cool. Ion Deluge affects the whole field and changes all normal type moves into electric type moves. It does a good job of checking Mega Kangaskhan that relies on its normal type stab moves as its primary means of damage output, but Ion Deluge hasn't seen much usage ever. What's really weird, however, is the way that Ion Deluge interacts with Parasong. Parasong affects the entire field and can't be blocked by anything other than Crafty Shield and Soundproof. Or so we thought. The thing is, even though Parasong doesn't operate like most other moves, it is by definition a normal type move, which apparently means it is affected by Ion Deluge. Now, this might not seem like a big deal. Parasong is electric type instead of normal type, but really, who cares, because you weren't doing damage with Parasong anyways, and Parasong already affects ghost types despite them being a normal type move. So it shouldn't really matter, right? Wrong. One of the best Ion Deluge users is a Pokemon you might have heard of if you were following VGC in 2014, Pachirisu. Apart from being a member of Sajin Park's winning team at Worlds, Pachirisu has access to the combination of Ion Deluge and Volt Absorb. See where this is going? In the situation Shady and I encountered, we had Scrafty, Gengar, and some Pokemon in the back, against Sceptile and Pachirisu as our opponent's last 2 Pokemon. Now, normally when Parastrap teams have the opponent down to their last 2 Pokemon, the play is pretty straightforward. We used Fake Out on the Mega Sceptile and Parasong. Pachirisu, however, ended up going for Ion Deluge, and so, instead of starting the counter on the opponent's team, we healed Pachirisu thanks to its Volt Absorb, boosted Mega Sceptile thanks to the Lightning Rod, and had the Perish counter only affect Scrafty and Gengar. What is especially weird about this is that Electric-type Parasong will still affect Ground-type Pokemon, but if the Ground-type has Lightning Rod, it won't put them on the timer. If that ground type with Lightning Rod, however, happens to be holding a ring target, you can be sure they're going to be getting a special attack boost.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you missed number 6 through 10, go check them out. They're linked. There's a lot of really cool mechanics there as well. If you enjoyed this kind of content, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.